Hey girl, here's one of my clients. I just got done filming a full video about burdock root and I still have a little bit of energy, so I'm gonna edit this video real quick and give you guys a really good example who should use burdock root, who's a really good candidate, and what type of damage or thinning is a really good candidate for burdock root and this blend that I am talking about in the video that is coming tomorrow. So sit back, relax, and watch this video. This was one of my favorite clients. Everybody that you see here on my channel was one of my favorite clients, so as soon as I get done talking you can see exactly why.
Now, let's get started. This is one of my favorite clients. Now, I did not do children's hair, but a lot of my favorite clients had children, and depending on the way that my clients carry themselves, I would know how they raised their children. And some of their children, like this beauty, could get her hair done by me. As you can see, her curls are beautiful, and this was not my first, second, or third time doing her hair. I did her hair for years, and her curls were more and more beautiful every time I saw her, right? So I want us to lose this thing in our head. What you're looking at right now are the three bonds that hold your hair together, because your hair is a polypeptide chain made of a salt bond, a disulfide bond, and a hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bond is a temporary bond broken by water, and now that her hair has been shampooed and now that her hair is wet, the hydrogen bond is broken, and now I am going to temporarily set that bond to a straighter texture until that bond is broken again with H2O. The hydrogen bond in the hair is broken with H2O, but over the years, the reason why I can't stand wash and goes and the twist outs, no matter what anybody says or how anybody feels about it, by you avoiding the blow dryer, right? By you avoiding sitting under a hooded dryer, you end up causing massive hair shaft disorders. Those were just a few of the many hair shaft disorders that are caused by allowing the hair to remain wet. And there are over 100 bacteria and yeast that live on the hair's follicle and scalp. That's why yeast is able to form, and that is why lice are attracted to the hair shaft, because their babies can thrive and eat on the hair shaft because there are so many different colonizing bacteria that live on the human scalp, right? If you need a detailed breakdown of that, make sure you check the links in the description box below, because I have a video giving you the scientific names and explaining the functions of 21 of those bacteria, and then even more to follow. So close down one-on-ones because everybody has the same exact problem, and I just feel like it's easier to tackle it here without taking people's money. All right, let's get to it. I was diagnosed with seborrheic dermatitis. I have used all of the shampoos recommended. I don't oil my scalp. I wash my hair 4 times or more in a week, still nothing. My scalp is super itchy with few to no flakes, and itchy parts are thin and balding because of my scratching habit. Please, how do I treat this? After that, I asked her to catch a live. That didn't happen, which is why we're talking about this today. And then I asked her to give me more detail and tell me all of the habits that she's had. She said, before I saw the dermatologist, I was always greasing my scalp and trying all of the do-it-yourselfs I find on YouTube. I dyed my hair later, and I was still doing the YouTube heavy oiling do-it-yourselves without washing my scalp and hair. Months later, my scalp became super itchy and I had boils on the itchy parts. I met with a family doctor and he diagnosed me with scalp infection, prescribed me Nordazole shampoo and a cream and other antifungal creams, which I went back later and I was referred to a dermatologist, and she told me not to oil my scalp again and prescribed me some drugs. My hair was thriving, but whenever it grows to 3 inches or above, the itching intensifies and the bald patches increase too. Not bald like skin bald, but like a 0.5 centimeter hair level. So remember what I said about everything being a holistic practice, right? So far, all we know is everything that led you up to the scalp infection and then what the doctors gave you to treat it. So the next question I had is, okay, so what are your practices? How and what do you use on your hair? And just basically asking her what her practices are. She said, 1, I leave my sebum blue shampoo on my hair for 5 to 10 minutes. 2, condition for 2 to 3 minutes with a conditioner and a certain type of conditioner. And 3, here is the key. I dry my hair with a microfiber towel, and sometimes I leave it to air dry. Also, I use As I Am itchy scalp leave-in when I want to comb my hair. I love you guys, but I need you to see how your patterns keep you in the same cycles over and over again. The blow dryer is not the enemy, and I really need you guys to really dive deep into your history and understand that even though we think that we are like this great civilization right now, we're actually behind. And if we still can't figure out how they built the pyramids, I'm almost more than positive they had electricity and blow dryers and different ways to straighten their hair. Stretch their hair. It is not about always wearing your hair bone straight or silky straight or different things like that. But when you learn the human body holistically, like what I taught you in the previous video about all of the different forms of bacteria that live on the scalp, you can go to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist can give you every antifungal cream ever created. But if you're still allowing your hair to air dry, the bacteria is never going to leave. You know why? Their favorite environment is wet areas that are full of oil and different lipids. So all of the different things that you guys are reading on the blogs and all of the different articles that you're reading and seeing and the different videos that you're watching, yes, as a herbalist, I can tell you all of these oils have amazing properties. But guess what? You are a city, and there are hundreds and hundreds of different forms of bacteria on your scalp at this very second, and all of those amazing properties that live within all of these fruits and vegetables that you guys are putting in your hair, and all of these different oils that you're putting in your hair, they have those same exact properties for the living organisms on your scalp. That's how it works. So that's why if you have a bacteria infection, the first thing your dermatologist is going to tell you is to stop oiling your scalp. Why? Because these microorganisms, they love the lipids. Yes, coconut oil is amazing. Yes, it is. But you ingest it into the body because it is protein seeking, and it is going to bind to the protein that is your hair shaft. These are different things that you have to understand. So it's not enough just to read an article say, oh, coconut oil is rich in this amino acid, or is rich in this, and then I'm gonna put it in my hair. No, it doesn't work that way. And it's the same thing for herbs. That's why I'm making videos on every herbal blend within my Apothecary, so you can understand holistically what these herbs can and cannot do for the body, right? So I really hope that makes sense. Let's pause and talk about her hair, right? So far, the only thing that is on her hair, I just gave her a shampoo and a deep conditioning treatment. I remember it was a deep conditioning treatment because she only got her hair silk pressed a certain time of the year because we had a certain regimen for her so her hair wouldn't break off, right? But at this point, we have made sure that her scalp was clean, so I gave her hair shaft and scalp a really good detox, and then we gave her a deep conditioning treatment, and then I put our leave-in conditioner on, and that is all that is on her hair, and it is a liquid leave-in conditioner. At the time I had my own product line, but we are not it I no longer have it at this point. But the product that I always use, even if let's say I ran out of some of mine, I always use Kimra. I've been using Kimra since forever, right? So that is all that is on her hair, and I absolutely love the round brush because this is just my professional opinion, the way that I did hair through the techniques that I used, right? The average human, or every human, has 100,000 follicles, and you have anywhere between 1 to 4 strands per follicle. So you do the math, any person has 100,000 to 400,000 strands of hair on their head. And when you're getting your hair straightened, literally what you're doing is going in and separating every last strand to the best of your ability. If any of those strands are not separated, that is the crunchy end that you would feel and all of that. And there are different levels of swelling to the hair shaft dependent on the density of your hair and dependent on the amount of sulfur to sulfur linkages that you have, right? Because that's what makes your hair curly. The more disulfide bonds, remember what we talked about earlier, the 3 bonds that hold your hair together: hydrogen bond, which we broke, and the disulfide bond is what is determining how curly your hair is. So the more of those you have, the curlier your hair is. And right now, all I am doing is temporarily setting the hydrogen bond. I am not doing anything with her disulfide bond unless I do this silk press process wrong. So if you are a person who uses, let's say for an example, a whole lot of oil in your hair, people who use coconut oil in their hair, I highly recommend that you do not get a silk press until you know that you've really clarified all of that coconut oil out, because coconut oil is binding. It is protein binding. That's why a lot of YouTubers didn't understand the science of hair properly and were like, yeah, put coconut oil in your hair because it holds on to moisture. But why does it hold on to moisture? It holds on to moisture because it locks on to the cortex of the hair shaft. It is literally stuck under your hair's cuticle, right? And anything that is stuck under your hair cuticle is so hard to remove because water and oil repel each other, right? So that's what's so hard. And I remember in the hair salon, if somebody had coconut oil in their hair, I remember washing their hair like 10 times, and then every time, like going back, well, not every time, but out of those 10 times, maybe 3 times going back to the chair, blow drying it, and then going to straighten it. And it's like I poured oil on the top of her head and there's nothing in her head. Coconut oil is protein binding. So if you are a person who uses coconut oil and then you go in for a silk press, and let's say you already have a hair shaft disorder because you've been air drying your hair most of the time and your hair shaft is already weaker because you comb your hair out wet and you lose clumps of hair in your hand as you're detangling, which we're going to talk about in a second, right? If those are your patterns, and if those are your habits, then what you're going to notice is your hair is going to get thinner and thinner and thinner, and it's going to begin to break off. But moreover, if you then go into a hair salon and say, hey, I've been doing my Team Natural thing and it's long now, and I always just use coconut oil, and then you go in and then that protein binding coconut oil is still in the cortex, and that cosmetologist doesn't know that, or that hairstylist doesn't know that, and she takes some flat irons that are 350 degrees or 400 degrees on that coconut oil, what's going to happen? Your hair is literally going to start to sizzle. The same way that the coconut oil would sizzle if you took a drop of it and set it directly on the flat iron, baby, is doing that within the cortex of your hair shaft, right? And the cortex of your hair shaft is where those disulfide bonds live, where those sulfur to sulfur linkages live, remember? And the more disulfide bonds you have, sulfur to sulfur, that's why they say disulfide bonds, right? Sulfur to sulfur linkages, the more of them you have, the curlier your hair is. So if you have protein linking, protein seeking coconut oil within the cortex, and then you put a 350-degree flat iron on it, you're gonna cook it the same way it will cook in your skillet at 350 degrees or at 450 degrees. Please give me a coconut emoji in the comments if that makes sense. Just drop coconut emojis in the comments if that makes sense. I really hope I broke that down, but that's something that I really want you to understand. So it's no us versus them and this is bad and this is good. No, understand the science of the human body holistically, and then you're able to break things down, right? Straightening your hair has nothing to do with your pride or your love in self, on if whether or not you're proud of your ethnic background. You have different options of all races. You can wear your hair straight, you can wear it curly. If you don't want to use a flat iron, you don't ever have to ever. If you don't want to use a blow dryer, you should just, or a flat iron at least once a year, every 8 to 10 weeks to get your ends trimmed, baby. But I mean, whatever, you can use a roller set, a flexi rod set, a perm rod set that matches your natural curls exactly. You do not have to walk around leaving your hair wet. You just don't have to do that. It's not a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. It is a thing. But now at this point, well, I'm almost done flat ironing her hair, but the only thing at this point on her hair, again, the shampoo and conditioning process, we talked about that. The leave-in conditioner you saw me use as I was combing her hair. I detangled her hair before, but I combed it, right, with the leave-in conditioner in, and now just a heat protectant. That is it, and that is all. Hair on the screen is one of my customers that used my Bodak Blue extract on her daughter, and this is her baby. That was just her journey. Take some screenshots if you wanted to see a little bit more of her journey, but that was something that she also had to turn around because we're all learning. So as a mother, she was learning different things, and she was doing a couple of different team natural things on her daughter's hair, and it really made her daughter's hair suffer, right? But it was okay. We changed some things around. She ended up helping her daughter detox her liver and all of that, and then we were able to reset her daughter's natural hair growth cycle, and then chicka-la-boom, chicka-la-bam. Things are very easy and self-explanatory, but because we're always looking for a hack and a shortcut, we end up going the super double long way. But the thing is, it is a really, really easy process to follow to have strong, thick, and healthy hair. Everybody's hair grows, right? Everybody's hair grows. The problem is not hair growth. The problem is length retention. So we need to find healthier patterns and habits, and we need to remember and go back and learn the things that were left before us, because it is so crazy to me, you guys, that if I say I can't stand wash and goes and twist outs, people like literally boo-boo on themselves. And it's like, y'all, we have so many options. Twist outs and wash and goes, y'all, you can, again, roller set, flexi rod set, perm rods, and mind you, every type of set that I named has a different curl. So you can get really, really tight curls that look like a big fro. You can get really loose curls that look like a body wave. You have so many options. And guess what? You will only have to do your hair one day a week or once every 2 weeks. No, you do not have to go in to see a professional cosmetologist. You do not. if you really get a mannequin and sit there and practice and learn how to trim your own hair, baby girl, baby boy, trim your own hair, do your own hair. It's not a big deal. Let's, in 2024, move into 2025, let's really shift this paradigm and let's stop this us versus them. No, let's all just learn from each other. And what we do when you watch videos, even videos like mine, take the things that resonate with you and leave the things that don't. And when you find something that doesn't resonate, you don't have to leave a comment like, girl, this do not resonate with me, but I'm gonna take everything else. No, you don't have to do that. Like, leave a heart emoji, say thank you for the things that you taken, and keep it moving. And I love you. You don't have to listen to anything that I say. I'm just here to share the information. What you just seen here on the screen was somebody within the 7-day challenge, their before and after. As you can see, her edges were thinning and now they are all back, and her hair is luscious and thick, and she has no heat damage. You do not have to suffer from heat damage, you guys. Heat damage and flat irons and blow dryers are not the enemy, but by us not learning the proper practices and by us not learning how to properly use these tools, they then become damaging. So that's it, and that's all. I didn't mean to give you all that lip pop. Now, again, she has been my client for a while, so she has layers naturally cut into her hair. I didn't really have to do anything. It was more so like a trim, kind of, sort of. Like, it looks like she kind of got a haircut, but it was really me just going over things that I had already laid down, because she was a little past her 10-week margin. But her mother did an excellent job at keeping up with her hair. Her mother did an excellent job at keeping up with her hair appointments. She was never behind for her trims. So her hair was super healthy, and she was getting older. She was getting to the point where she wanted to wear her hair out more, and she was taking better care of it. It was lasting longer. I remember when she was younger, like, girl, we wasn't straightening it like that. It would last that day, but she was at a place where it really would last. So as I'm running my fingers through my clients' hair, I'm not just feeling on them and looking in their eyes. We're having conversations about how to wrap it, different things that they should and shouldn't do, just, setting some reminders. So I'm telling her, don't be thinking you cute and not wrapping your hair at night, because you're gonna be in trouble, because I almost got carpal tunnel doing your hair. That's what I was telling her. So yes, her hair turned out absolutely beautiful. And you guys, she did not have to wear her hair like this every day, but her mother definitely didn't let her do wash and goes. There were flexi rod sets and roller sets and perm rod sets and all of those things. Now, a lot of people asked about my product line. Nothing bad happened. It was just no longer something that I wanted to do, and I left that on the screen. That was a review from somebody who used to order my products, just to show you it was nothing wrong, and my products used to hit for real. Every blue moon I think about bringing them back, but I don't think that the world is ready right now. Everybody's still in that really judgmental stage where they want to be like, oh, I'm about to do a review, seeing just bought products out. So when that becomes not a fad, maybe. But anywho, so this is a client that I had for a long time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what you are watching in that replay, that was her hair when we first started, just so you can see the increase in her density and her volume as we're moving along. But her hair is beautiful, and again, she is one of my clients that follow all of my directions, but she had just had a baby, and you know what that'll do to your hair. So she had one small little thin spot, right? But other than that, she was good, and the thin spot was growing, right? So she wasn't at the balding phase, but yeah. So anywho, mind y'all, these are old edits. I don't know what in the world that word was, this braid. I don't know what that was talking about. But anywho, I am detangling her. Why do I keep saying that in this video? I do not detangle wet hair. I only detangle dry hair. I am combing her hair before I round brush. With my leave-in conditioner on, and we have all of these mess ups in this video. I'm not doing this voiceover over. So I am round brushing her hair the same way I did the last client. I like showing you guys multiple clients in one video just to show you that I do everybody's hair exactly the same. In my next couple videos, there is going to be people whose textures are a lot different than the ones that I've been giving you guys examples of on my channel previously. And also let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in a video on postpartum shedding and postpartum hair loss and what you can do to combat that. But I really need y'all to make sure you let me know if that's something that you want to see, because it take a long time to film. But if you are somebody who's dealing with that, my red Nile chamomile is amazing at helping you reverse the symptoms of your postpartum hair loss right after you have a baby. So check the video link in the description box below, where I'll talk a little bit more about red Nile chamomile, and that blend is with Egyptian chamomile and red raspberry leaf, and together amazing. So again, check that video out, and I'll leave the link in the description box if you need that, honey. But yeah, so her hair is being blown out, and as you can see, I want you guys to rewind when this video was over, obviously, and look at her density when we first started, and look at the length when we first started, and look at her density now. But when I make the videos here on my channel, you guys, I'm not making it from a person who is trying to like cause an uproar and like me versus them. This is coming to you from a person who's been in this industry well over 15 years, and I am excellent at what I do. I just don't want to do hair anymore. But I actually I was really good at my job, and I just do it from a different aspect now, right? Let's just be realistic. In one day, the most clients I was ever able to do without feeling like my body was gonna break down is 13 people in a day, right? But I could only reach 13 people a day, but now for what I do, I can reach a couple of thousand people in a day through different forms, not just through YouTube. So that is why I have changed and why I am no longer behind the chair. So I want you to start focusing on the different hair shaft disorders that are on the screen. Take a screenshot and make it your business to really sit down and start learning about different hair shaft disorders, because they're real. Everything shouldn't be something that you want to go back and forth and argue about, because you really have to ask yourself, like, would somebody like me, like, would I really go to school for this long and like stress that much through school and through boards and all of this just so I could like have certificates and degrees to be able to be like, ha ha, I'm right and you're wrong? No, I did it out of love, like out of love and passion for the thing that I'm studying, and out of the love and passion for the people that I'm trying to help, right? So these are the things that I want you to think about, and these are the things that I want you to see. I know that I give you guys a whole lot of examples of damaged hair and how I help that, but let's be honest, it gets the click, baby. Like, people, for whatever reason, drama sells. When I just post something nice, and it doesn't get as many clicks, but when you post like why I hate this, it gets the click. It's unfortunate, but that's true. right? But I want you guys to really see my intentions through these videos. Again, I have thousands of videos that we can go back and recycle through, but I really want you guys to just see the simplicity in hair care. It should not take hours, it should not take days for certain styles. And no, I'm not saying that wearing your hair straight is the only way. Is it the easiest route to take? Absolutely. Right? Can it be done without damaging your hair? Absolutely. I've proven it to you today in this video, right? This beauty that's here was a regular client of mine. My clients came to me on a regular basis, and if you do what you're supposed to do, you will not damage your hair. And let's be real, my clients definitely would get in the shower and maybe forget to put a shower cap on or something and have to bump their hair at the top or something, and no, they were not getting heat damage. So these are things that I really want you to think about, because the most of the time, unless you are a person who is greasing your scalp, women who get relaxers on a regular basis or people who classify themselves as straight naturals are not in the group of women that are having massive scalp inflammation and seborrheic dermatitis and CCCA. The women who have all of these scalp disorders are women who self-identify as team natural, or is for A, for B, for C. And the reason that I use that video at the beginning, the comment at the beginning for the example, is most of the time my loves will say like, oh, I have seborrheic dermatitis, I went to a dermatologist, I did this, I did that, I did everything that they told me to do, but nothing's working. Or I bought this tea, or I bought this hair growth aid, or I bought this and it said that it will work for me, but it was false advertisement and all of that. But then when I come back and I say, okay, well, what are your daily practices? What do you do to your hair? The response is, well, I let my hair air dry, and when I do comb my hair, I wet it first, or I use a leave-in conditioner to comb my hair. You are not supposed to use a leave-in conditioner to comb your hair. So do me a favor really quick and go on my website right here and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my website, and when you subscribe to my website, you are notified whenever I go live here on YouTube or anywhere else. All right, so I really appreciate you guys so much for all of your support, and this stuff that you are seeing on the screen is from my heart. So just click the link in the description box. Now, at this point, she is getting her trim. She had went way past 10 weeks, because if she had been at her 10 weeks, we wouldn't have had to do this. And she was getting a lecture because she already know. But her hair is absolutely beautiful, and she wore her hair straight the majority of the time. Her hair was not damaged. She did not have a bunch of breakage. She had normal wear and tear on her ends. And the reason that a hairstylist says every 10 weeks is because 10 weeks, we give you a roundabout estimate of when it will begin to get to the point that it was just at what we're cutting off. Because in my mind, if you keep up with that every 10-week trim, it'll look like they're just removing fairy dust. Like, you won't see any lines of demarcation there. It'll be like just clipping off fairy dust. Sometimes my clients used to ask me, did you even cut anything? Did you cut anything? So these are things that I really want you guys to think about, because things have been made so complicated when it's really not supposed to be complicated in any way, shape, or form. So again, you guys have a lot of different options here on my channel. You can either join the 7-day challenge, you can get some ebooks, you can get some tea, or you can just get some snacks and some juice, get some pop, and just binge watch all of my videos. I made playlists for you. The link is in the description box below, so just go through my entire playlist, right? If you don't want to spend no money, that's fine. Go through my entire playlist and get the information that you need. But it's really simplistic, y'all. We don't have to argue about it. You don't have to always wear your hair straight if you don't want to. There are other things that you can do other than twist outs and wash and goes. And the reason that I can't stand them is because every last person that books a one-on-one consultation with me, when I ask them these questions, their patterns are always twist outs and wash and goes. Every time. Every single time. And guess what? Every single time when they stop and they change their patterns and their routines, their inflammation, their seborrheic dermatitis, and all of those things go away. So I'm telling you what I know. Make sure that you leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. Bye.